President of this Republic. Your Excellency, you would have chosen, just like your predecessors, to stay in Nairobi. But because of the love you have for this country and its people, and especially this region, you have continued to pay us that have always left impactful effect on the lives of these people. Your Excellency, allow me to appreciate the contribution of the board of Maseno School, led by Wakili Canon Ambrose Weda, for the tremendous efforts they have put in to ensure that this school remains on the Kenyan map. Your Excellency, I also want to recognize in a special way the presence of your principal secretaries who are here, starting with our own Dr. Raymond Omolo, the PS for Interior, who continues to play a very, very significant role in the development of this region and indeed the entire country. And we also have with us PS Stephen Isaboke of Broadcasting. He's also an old boy here. We also have with us Dr. Ouma Oluga, PS in charge of medical services. And earlier on, Governor Nyang' Nyong'o did not mention the name of the MP for Kisumu East, the Honorable Shakil Shabir. Is also here with us. Your Excellency, as I conclude, allow me to appreciate again, in a very special way, the kind of projects that are ongoing and also the ones that have been completed in this county. Your Excellency, you know, you are currently undertaking very ambitious affordable housing project in this county. And I must thank you, Your Excellency, for recognizing that Maseno University, which is the neighboring here, is afforded hostels, student hostels, almost 1,200 in number. We are also building hostels at the Riyadh Institute, Your Excellency, almost 1,700 in number. Your Excellency, we can never tire to thank you for deciding to elevate the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital to a level 6 hospital, Your Excellency, the first of its kind in this region since independence. And many more projects, Your Excellency, that your government is undertaking in this region. And therefore, Your Excellency, as I conclude, let me assure you that the work you have done and the work you continue to do, not only for this region but for the entire country, will ensure, Your Excellency, that when the time comes, you get re-elected with a lot of ease. And that, I think, is the resolve of these people. Ama namna gani? Mnasema namna gani hapa? Mnasemaje Kisumu? Mnasemaje Maseno? Mnasemaje? Asanteni sana, Mwenyezi Mungu azidi kuwabariki.
Thank you, James. You just know what to do and what to say at the right time. Also present is the PS Susan Mangeli with us as well. Your Excellency, sir, we are very deeply grateful that you have graced this milestone of celebrating 120 years of the Maseno School. Your leadership continues to inspire us all, Your Excellency, that you work together to build a Kenya that is prosperous, equitable, and globally competitive. Your Excellency, what began under the shades of a legendary Maseno tree in 1906 as a modest vocational center for the sons of African chiefs has grown into one of Kenya's most enduring and illustrious institutions of learning. 120 years later, this school stands out as an educational establishment and also as a monument that has persevered, that has created character, and that has nation build. The school's motto, Your Excellency, perseverance shall win through, has been more than words on a wall. It has been the guiding philosophy that has shaped generations of young men who have gone forth to serve this nation with distinction. Maseno School's greatest contribution to our economy has been its relentless investment in human capital. In an era when Kenya is implementing the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, no resource is more valuable than a skilled, disciplined, and innovative workforce. For 120 unbroken years, this institution has nurtured minds and molded character that have driven our public service, our private sector, our academia, and our diplomatic corps. Beyond academic excellency, Maseno School has instilled timeless values that are the bedrock of any successful society. That is discipline, integrity, teamwork, resilience, and a deep sense of patriotism. That is no small achievement that in its entire 120 years history, Maseno School has never recorded a single strike. In 120 years, no single strike. That record is a powerful testimony of the culture of mutual respect, order, and shared purpose that defines this institution. As we celebrate this milestone, we also look into the future. The government of Kenya, under your leadership, Your Excellency, remains committed to transforming our education sector so that every learner, regardless of background, receives quality, relevant, and market-driven education. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, as a Cabinet Secretary for Education, I reaffirm the government's full support for institutions such as Maseno School that have consistently delivered excellence and character. May this 120th anniversary mark not just the end of a glorious chapter, but the beginning of an even more impactful century of service to Kenya and humanity. To the current students, Maseno strong. You stand on the shoulders of giants. Embrace the legacy. Let the Maseno tree remind you of your roots, and let the motto, perseverance shall win through, fuel your ambition. To the alumni, continue giving back. Your mentorship, your resources, and your networks are critical to preparing the next generation. To the teachers and staff, you are the unsung heroes who keep this torch burning brightly. Indeed, perseverance shall win through. With these few remarks, Your Excellency, it is now my distinct honor to invite you to give your remarks. Please, all of us, may we remain standing as we welcome His Excellency.
Asanteni sana. Maseno strong. Haya, tuketi chini. Bishop Emeritus, Bishop Wesonga, and the clergy, fellow leaders, Maseno School parents, students, and well-wishers. There are schools that educate students, and there are institutions that shape the destiny of a nation. Maseno School belongs to the latter category. Some 120 years ago, when this institution was founded, the Republic of Kenya, as we know it today, did not exist. There was no independent state, no national flag, and no constitution. Yet, here at the foothills of Mabungo Hills, along the border of present-day Kisumu and Vihiga counties, the foundations of what would become a towering institution of academic excellence were already being laid. For 12 decades, Maseno School has stood not merely as a center of learning, but as a living monument to the enduring power of education, discipline, leadership, service, and nationhood. Generations have passed through its gates, carrying the hopes of families, communities, and a nation searching for its place in history. Empires have risen and faded. Governments have changed. Political seasons have come and gone. Yet, Maseno has endured, producing leaders, scholars, clergy, scientists, public servants, and patriots who helped shape Kenya and East Africa into what we are today. This anniversary, therefore, is not merely a celebration of longevity. It is a celebration of continuity, institutional excellence, and national memory. Ladies and gentlemen, as one of the oldest formal institutions of learning in Kenya, established in 1906 by missionaries of the Church Missionary Society, Maseno occupies a unique place in the educational and historical journey of our nation. I am amazed, but also encouraged by the courage of J.J. Willis, who traveled to the unknown, had the courage to come all the way to Mabungo Hills here and set up this great institution. It reminds us that with the same courage, we can take this institution to the next 120 years. What began with six sons of African chiefs gathering under the shade of the Maseno tree has evolved into one of the most distinguished educational institutions in the African continent. The name Maseno is derived from the hickory tree, scientifically known as kaya, but locally called Oseno in the Luo and Oluseno in Luya, a fitting symbol for an institution whose roots runs deep and whose legacy has endured across generations. From its earliest years, Maseno embraced not only academic instruction, but also practical and technical education in fields such as masonry, carpentry, and tailoring, reflecting a philosophy of education that sought to prepare young people, not merely for examinations, but for life, service, and leadership. This vision is fully aligned with the transformative reforms we are implementing under the competence-based education and training. Our goal is to nurture every learner according to their unique talents, abilities, creativity, and aspirations, so that no child is confined by a one-size-fits-all model of education. We are building an education system that empowers young people to discover their true potential early and pursue career pathways that fully harness their gifts, whether in science, in technology, in engineering, mathematics, the arts, sports, entrepreneurship, agriculture, or other technical fields. In an increasingly competitive and innovation-driven world, Kenya's future prosperity will depend on our ability to produce not only academics, but also problem solvers, innovators, creators, researchers, and ethical leaders capable of transforming our nation and positioning Kenya and Africa at the forefront of global progress. I say this against the background that from today, Kenya will be hosting the French Africa Summit, named Africa Forward. From tomorrow and the next 2 days, 30 heads of state from Africa and elsewhere will be in our country. Speaking to the contribution that knowledge, education, and leadership so that we can position our country appropriately for the future, not just of our nation, but our continent as well. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 120 years, Maseno School has benefited from the visionary educators and administrators, among them the renowned Edward Carey Francis, whose contribution to education in Kenya remains legendary. Today, the story of Maseno School is inseparable from the story of Kenya. I have been taken around this institution, and I have encountered sites that are not only merely school landmarks, but important monuments of our national heritage. I have seen the historic Oseno tree, under which the first 6 students began their journey. I have visited the house where the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga lived while teaching here between 1943 and 1945. And I have also seen the chapel, built in 1906, at the very dawn of this institution's existence. These are not ordinary places. They are living chapters of Kenyan history. I therefore commend the successive boards of management, principals, teachers, and alumni, and the wider Maseno community for preserving these historical landmarks for future generations. Nations that preserve their history preserve their identity. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of Maseno School are known and respected across Kenya, Africa, and the world. This institution has produced distinguished leaders in public service, academia, science, diplomacy, business, religion, and public life. Among its illustrious alumni are Kenya's first Vice President, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, renowned scientist, Professor Thomas Odhiambo, Barack Obama Sr., Professor David Wasau, Professor Ruben Olembo, freedom fighter Achieng Oneko, and many others whose contributions continue to shape our society. But perhaps Maseno's greatest distinction is not simply the prominence of its alumni. It is the culture of excellence the institution has sustained across generations. I am very, very proud to know that Maseno, in its 120 years, has not participated in any strike. That is phenomenal. While many schools rise and fall with seasons and circumstances, Maseno has consistently remained among the leading centers of academic excellence in Kenya. That consistency is not accidental. It is the product of culture, discipline, institutional pride, and unwavering commitment to excellence. When the student president here, Chris, spoke, I saw a fine gentleman. Measured in every way, but focused. And he gave a very good account of the student fraternity in this school. Discipline, humility, and excellence. Congratulations, Chris. As government, we do not regard investment in education as an expenditure. We treat it as the most strategic investment we can make in the future of our nation. Education is not a luxury. Education is the engine that drives social mobility, economic transformation, innovation, and national progress. It is the foundation upon which the destiny of every great nation is built. And that is why I am very proud of what we have achieved in the last 3 years. We had serious challenges in the space around education. We had a chronic problem with CBC. We had a chronic teacher shortage. We had a problem with learning spaces. And of course, we had a problem with funding that limited the ability of especially our institutions of higher learning at the college and the university to be able to deliver quality education. In the last 3 years, working with all partners, working with parents, working with teachers and students and other stakeholders, we have managed to consolidate gains around education. The crisis that there seemed to be 3 years ago is slowly settling. We have engaged broadly, widely, and deeply with stakeholders on aligning our curriculum. And we have finally settled on the competence-based education and training with clarity on the responsibilities of students, parents, teachers, and other stakeholders. We have also addressed significantly the teacher shortage problem. We had in 2022 a teacher shortage of 116,000. In the last 3 years, we've hired 100,000 teachers. We're hiring another 20,000 this year to make sure that consistently we close the gap on teacher shortage in our learning institutions. I was happy to note that the school chief principal here said 3 years ago there were 53 teachers in Maseno. Today, they have 93, meaning there are an additional 40 teachers hired in the last 3 years. Of the 100,000 teachers that we've hired, 40 have come to Maseno. He has, however, informed me that there is still another 40 teachers that are still hired under the Board of Management structure. Let me say that because we are hiring more teachers this year, immediately we will absorb 25 of the 40 teachers. And then we will absorb the balance later in the year. So please present the list of 25 teachers to the CS for Education, and we will facilitate their employment immediately. We have also worked with our TVETs and universities. We had a serious crisis of the funding model that we had in that space. And today, we have changed the funding model so that it doesn't focus on the institution, it focuses on the student, so that we can tailor-make funding for every student depending on their ability or the ability of their parents and guardians to support them, and to ensure that no child is left behind. And that has made us increase the budget for education from 500 billion shillings in 2022 to 702 billion this year. And in the proposed budget, we have 767 billion for the year 2026-2027. And it is because I have said we do not treat money spent educating our children as an expenditure. We treat it as an investment. And I will continue to spearhead the process of making sure that every learner has space to learn, resources for the learning, teachers, and all the other facilities that are necessary. The figures I've just mentioned are not merely figures in the budget. They represent classrooms built, teachers employed, laboratories equipped, opportunities expanded, and dreams made possible for millions of young Kenyans. At the same time, we are undertaking a major expansion of educational infrastructure. As I have said here, we have built 23,000 new classrooms. We are in the process of building another 1,600 laboratories across Kenya. Yesterday, I was in a place called Doldol, in a school in Doldol, supporting the infrastructure development there. Early this year, I was in my alma mater, Kapsabet Boys, again, to build momentum for more and more students to get access to education. Last Saturday, a day like this, I was in Njiri School in Murang'a, again to push for more learning spaces and greater opportunity extended to our children, especially in institutions like Maseno, where you have culture, you have history, and you have a record of excellence. We must make it possible for more students to access this great facility. And that is why I support my good advisor, Joe Aguirre, and the team here, including George Weda there, in thinking outside the box and looking at a new Maseno that will serve our nation for the next 100 years. And I like that they've been bold in their thinking and in their vision. And I want to assure you, Joe and George, that you have my support. In this context, I have been informed that while Maseno's academic standing has continued to rise, some of its support infrastructure has not expanded at the same pace. This is a matter that deserves attention because institutions of this stature must be supported to match their historic mission and future responsibilities. We shall therefore work closely with the school administration, alumni, and stakeholders of Maseno School to upgrade its physical infrastructure so that it fully reflects the stature, heritage, and standing as one of Kenya's premier institutions of learning. I know why you invited me for this occasion. Naelewa kabisa. If you wanted somebody to talk, you would have looked for somebody else. But if you wanted things to get done, that's why you looked for me. I have participated in the lifting of many institutions of learning, building classrooms, laboratories, and many other physical infrastructure in different schools. And I don't regret for a moment any opportunity that I have gotten to be able to add learning space for one child or whatever number, or to make sure that there is a teacher in a classroom. It is always a very, very proud moment. And so, because we must embrace the future, and we must continue drawing inspiration from institutions like Maseno, the question before us is no longer whether Maseno has a glorious past. History has already answered that question for us. The real question is whether institutions with such a powerful heritage, resilience, and intellectual tradition can help lead Kenya and Africa into the future. And I believe they can, they should, they will, and they must. I therefore urge the Maseno School community not to merely preserve its proud legacy, but to boldly shape the next frontier of Kenyan and African leadership, innovation, science, ethics, and public service. The future of our continent will depend on institutions capable not only of transmitting knowledge, but also of producing courageous thinkers, transformative leaders, and visionary citizens equipped to navigate and define the world of tomorrow. And Maseno is such an institution. Therefore, having read carefully what the vision of Maseno is going into the future, and understanding very well why you invited me here. And I don't assume that you invited me merely because I'm president. You invited me because you know I'm a friend and I am practical. So this is what we are going to do. Joe Aguirre and your team, you must lead from the front. I'm very proud na tuwapigie makofi. They have already raised 80 million. Did I read it correctly, Joe? Yes, 80 million. Wapigie makofi. That 80 million you can spend in doing the various workshops and science, a laboratory, some laboratories there, and also an ICT place for these young guys. When you do the ICT space, the government of Kenya will supply the computers necessary for that space. William Ruto and friends, I will mobilize my own friends because I understand very well that this is going to be a collaborative effort. It is not government alone, it's not parents, it's not alumni, or friends like me. We all have to pull together. Therefore, myself and friends, we are going to build 40 classrooms to accommodate at least 1,600 students. And my suggestion, Mwalimu, is that half of those classrooms, which will be ready before the end of this year, the next few months, half of those classrooms will be used by these gentlemen, and then the other half, you admit an extra 800 students next year. My request and my intention, and I have done this in many of the senior schools that we have in Kenya, from Nairobi School to Alliance, to Njiri's and all the others, including Kapsabet, is that an institution with great heritage and history and culture of excellence like Maseno should open its doors to more students. There is absolutely no reason why we should not support Maseno with infrastructure so that we can have at least 5,000 students in this school. To benefit from the culture and the great tradition that has been built over the years. We will have less and less people like Opio and I who could not manage to come to Maseno, and all the other good people. Then our Ministry of Housing is going to build a dormitory to accommodate 2,000 students. Yeah. Although I was told earlier that some of us stayed in dormitories, but in Maseno, you stay in houses. Yeah, so I'm sure we'll build a house that will accommodate 2,000 students. Okay? And then the Ministry of Education is going to build for you a multi-purpose hall and then then I am sure that we will be very well underway to a new Maseno, building on the legacy and the history of what this institution has done. We will have made our small contribution to taking this great institution to the next level. So I will mobilize everybody I have said here to do their bit. Waziri, you will do your part together with your colleague, Alice Wahome, to make sure that the House and the multipurpose hall is done. And I will do my part with my friends. And then I am sure Joe and team will do theirs. Alafu tutakuwa na Maseno ambayo itatupeleka mbele. Na mumesikia Askofu Wesonga amesema alikuwa ametembea kule Singapore. Shortly, they will not be going to Singapore, they will be coming to Maseno. Kwa sababu tutakuwa tumefanya mambo hapa nyumbani. Na mimi sina taswishi yeyote kwamba in our lifetime we are going to change our country. I have so much belief in it. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about the pessimists and the people who see nothing good. Because I sometimes wonder when I see people say how much of a crisis we have in education. And I wonder. I mean, there was no crisis when we had a shortage of 100,000 teachers. Now that we have hired 100,000 teachers, there is a crisis. You know? There was no crisis when there was a shortage of classrooms. Now that we have built 23,000 in 3 years, all of a sudden, there is a crisis. Really? Mimi nataka ni waombe. Askofu, umesema vizuri. Umesema we need godly leaders. I think we do, across the board. Those of us in politics, and those of us in other areas I don't want to mention. We will need godly leaders all round, so that we can speak to what it is and be helpful to ourselves. I don't know why people always want to see the glass as half full, not as half empty, not half full. There is always a contribution each and every one of us can make. Finger pointing, blame game, assigning other people blame will not solve us. It was said, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. I think we need more collaboration, we need more working together, we need more synergy, and we need to believe in ourselves. The biggest challenge we have is the belief in God, the belief in Kenya, and the belief in our ability. We must believe in us. We must believe in our ability to take this nation to the next level. There are no angels that will come from anywhere. It is us. Before you ask the next person what they have done, please have a meeting with yourself and ask yourself, what have you done yourself, before you point fingers to others. Otherwise, I want to assure you that we are going to work together, we're going to build this nation together, and it is my singular mission to work with all leaders in the transformation of our nation. It may not be an easy assignment, but it is a national imperative for us to move this nation to the next level and to unite this nation beyond tribe, creed, religion, or color. We are one nation, one people with a common destiny. I have so much faith in this country. I have so much faith in the ability of Kenya to be the example for this continent going into the future. And I want to tell you, we can do it. We have the ability to do it. So tushirikiane, tufanye kazi kwa pamoja, and we can attain the future we all dream of, a Kenya where we are all proud to be Kenyan. Nashukuru sana kwa wazazi mliofika hapa, wanafunzi, you have my, as a parent, you have my prayers and support and goodwill as you navigate your journey in life, as you go through your education. Keep your focus, and we are there to support you, and the government of Kenya will always spare no effort in making sure that all our learners have what it takes to be their best. Kwa hivyo, asanteni sana kwa kunikaribisha hapa Maseno. Nimefurahi sana kuona Maseno. It's my first time, by the way. My very first time in Maseno. And I admit you are a great school. You are a great institution. And I'm going to partner with you to make it greater. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Tunaomba Mheshimiwa Rais kwa heshima usalie papo hapo kwa jukwaa. Pole sana. Kwa sababu shule hii ina zawadi ambayo ingependa kukukabidhi. Kwa hivyo naomba tafadhali Joe uweze kuchukua hii opportunity umkabidhi Mheshimiwa Rais zawadi. The rest of us, we can sit. Dr. Oliot.
It's my pleasure, colleagues and fraternity of Maseno, to present to His Excellency the President a shield that bears the wording of the commemoration of Maseno School at 120 years. We are very, very grateful that he has accepted this.
Thank you.
The next is our oldest, or rather our youngest committee member, Dr. Joseph Aloch, did ask the President if he could accept to be inducted as an honorary member of Old Boys of Maseno, and the President accepted. So he's going to be invested with a blazer of Maseno School. I'm sure it's going to fit him. Abaye, Abaye, Abaye. Angalia Abaye, tuone kama itamtosha. Imemtosha. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this great honor. The Fundi did a good job, I think. I look smart, aren't you? As Maseno Cool nimesema asante sana. The next time nitakuja nitakuwa Itakuwa namna hiyo.
Thank you.
Why still here? Nasalimiwa tafadhali. Why still here, Your Excellency? The school has prepared a cake. Let's have the cake on stage. And as we do the cake, allow me to ask Bishop Emeritus and the AS to also join the stage. The two CSEs, the governor, board chair, principal, and school captain, kindly join His Excellency on stage for the cake session, which will be led by Jacqueline Ouma, the lead dean of the school. Makofi na vigelegele kwa keki. The ones I've called can flank His Excellency.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, as we celebrate 120 years, we have a cake that would like you to help us cut. The cake has the school logo. This cake has some layers, and the layers represents 120 years of sacrifice and success, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, as a symbol of unity of all stakeholders in Maseno who've helped us walk this journey, please allow me to welcome you in the cutting of the cake. Happy 120th anniversary, Maseno Strong.
Bishop, you can join. School captain, you can join. And the principal. The rest, you can flank. Let's have a cake song as we celebrate this big day. Wapi makofi na vigelegele kwa keki. Gimalomba. Wapi makofi tena. Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Excellency. You may retreat. Thank you. We may retreat to our seats as I request the bishop now to take the stage for benediction as we close.
Chris here is reminding me that he said ni wapange. Wana Chris, unasema ni wapange? Okay. So, kwanza, si mimi nimewapanga na classroom mama. Kuna ingine? Kuna ingine? Okay. So, mwalimu, nitawachia huyu Chris shilingi 2 milioni ya hawa. Tawapangia something, si ndio? Ama? Hapo namna hiyo Alafu nimeona band yetu hapo. Kuna mjamaa alikuwa na ile kitu ya nini imeraruka. Wapi ile kitu yako wewe boss? Kuna kitu imeraruka hapo. Unaona hii? Hiyo hii kitu ya huyu mtu. Naona. Niliona imesambaratika kidogo. So, I will give you another 1 million mununue. Sindio? Mununue equipment ya band. Mimi naona ule jamaa ameng'ang'ana nayo. Lakini sauti imepotea kwa sababu hiyo kitu imeraruka. Pongezi young man, you are doing a good job under very difficult circumstances. But you did very well. Yes. Sawa sawa. Alafu mwalimu utaniona kando tupangane na walimu.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you.
Tusimame sote rais anaporejea, and back to you Bishop.
Bwana sehemu yangu, rafiki yangu wewe, katika safari yangu tatembea na wewe pamoja na wewe Bwana, pamoja na wewe katika safari yangu tatembea na wewe. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. And the blessing of God the Almighty, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit be with you and remain with you always. Amen. Now go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Tunaomba kila mmoja aweze